Now let's begin with the latest, and members of the Parliamentary Joint Select Committee that is investigating grounds for removal from office of the besieged IEBC Commissioners has piled pressure to have the National Assembly's Justice and Legal Affairs Committee stopped from undertaking a parallel probe. Led by co-chairpersons Kiraitu, Murungi and James Orengo, the members were unanimously agreed that parallel process will undermine the legitimacy of the Select Committee, which was hammered through a negotiated process to end the IEBC standoff. Amimo has these details.
The 14-member Parliamentary Joint Select Committee and Secretariat converged at a Nairobi hotel for a preliminary retreat where the team was to be addressed by the parliamentary leadership. Members discussed threats posed by possible overlapping mandate between the Select Committee and the National Assembly's Joint Committee on Legal Affairs and Constitutional Oversight that is led by Samuel Chepkonga, which is currently scrutinizing a petition seeking removal of IEBC Commissioners.
If you have two parallel processes, then this entire project will lose its moral strength and even its legitimacy.
We are conscious of the delicacy of the task ahead of us. I want to promise my co-chair that as we start them together, we are going to end this process together. I will do everything possible, and I will not be part of a system, which negotiates in bad faith.
I'm also asking Chepkonga and his team to also be fair to Kenyans and also allow us to do what we ought to do.
On Thursday, Chepkonga disclosed that his team was writing its final report on IEBC probe and could table it in the National Assembly next week when the House resumes from short recess. The parliamentary leadership weighed in on competing interests by the House committees.
The leadership of the Senate, the majority leader and the minority leader, who will confirm later, are in active engagement to ensure that this process, particularly this negotiated process, is not going to be undermined by any other process in the National Assembly or in any other institution. In the words of the late Michael Amalo Kijana, I urge you to discuss with all your hands on the table. Let nobody have one hand on the table holding clean cards and one hand under the table holding dirty and dangerous cards in this process.
The National Assembly will always support this committee, and I don't think you should be worried by any other body and any shenanigans out there purporting to work against this committee, because this committee came as a result of consultations and agreements after a lot of chaos that erupted.
Members of the opposition called Select Team censured the Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, Leader of Majority in the National Assembly, Aden Duale, and Senate Majority Leader Professor Kindiki Kithure for skipping the meeting. The opposition argued absence of top parliamentary leadership showed a lack of commitment by the ruling Jubilee in the process to end the IEBC stalemate. Speaker Muturi is out of the country. Murkomen explained Professor Kindiki was indisposed and he was representing him.
Demand of the Speaker of the National Assembly to honor this invitation is breaching the law.
If we had that suggestion from the last meeting, we could have ensured that the Deputy Speaker or indeed any member of the panel have been there. So let us not cast aspersions.
Lawyer Apollo Mboya has been nominated by the opposition code as its rapporteur, whereas James Mamboleo is the rapporteur for the ruling Jubilee. The Select Committee has invited the public to present written memoranda to the Secretariat before July 22nd. The team will hold public hearings in Nairobi on 25th and 26th July. The Parliamentary Joint Select Committee says it's determined to deliver on its mandate to ensure that next year's general elections are credible. It remains to be seen whether the Chepkonga-led committee will be prevailed upon to stop its parallel process and ensure that this one goes on. Amimo, KTN News, Nairobi.